Hello everybody, how is it going? I am Lucas. Cool thing about all the drum parts that you just heard were they were 98% all from the GGD loop library. Now basically what I did was in the loop libraries itself, I went in, I listened to, these came from Matt's loop pack. I listened to the loops that I wanted, found some interesting ones, threw them up on the line right here. Now there are some edits to them. I edited, I think, the snare, and I think I edited the kick drop a little bit in some of them, and I went in and I wrote the fills at the end of the chorus. I wrote those in. But the cool thing about it is everything else was straight from the loop pack. So let me show you what I'm talking about. What's really cool about GGD is it has this groove player in it, and what you can do is you can actually play out the loop, the songs, the loops in the MIDI pack itself, and it actually plays it for you so you're able to hear it. So basically all you have to do is you open up GGD and you go to the groove player. Now to get the MIDI files in the groove player, what you have to do is you have to go to the folder where you installed Modern and Massive, and in that folder it's going to say Modern and Massive and it's going to say MIDI. You need to put all of those MIDI loops in that folder and it's going to feed into here because that's where it looks. That's where the folder is set for it to look, for the MIDI loop. So once you find it, you put that in there, and then it's going to feed it right in here. And this is basically all I did. All I did was I came in here, and I think the one that I use is from song 4. This is what it is right here. Now the beats per minute, this is what the original song itself was recorded in, the loop song was recorded in. I have my DAW set up to where it actually adjusts the tempo of whatever I set it at the bottom right here. It'll adjust it and it kind of stretches everything to that. So you don't really have to worry about the BPM. So if you want to use, for example, if you want to use the one from song 4 but your tempo is 120, it's fine. It's going to sound a little bit different, but it's going to work. Now another thing to keep in mind too is that whenever you use the player in here, it did this to me a few times, it's going to affect your mapping. So my best suggestion to you was to come through first, pick all the songs, pick all the loops and songs out that you want. We're using the groove player and then throw them up on there, because if your mapping isn't exactly the same as it is to the actual groove player right here, it's going to change it around a little bit. But you can go back and you can go back and change it later. That's just if you have different mappings, which I have a little bit. Anyway, now moving on, all you really have to do, you come to the groove player, you click it right here, you click a pattern, and you click play. Or you double click the song. And it loops it for you, as you can see. Now whatever it's gonna play, whatever mixing and stuff you have set up, that's exactly what you're gonna hear because it just runs it through there. You can also load in a map, you can change stuff around right here, you can mute stuff, you can solo stuff, as you can see. Let's get crazy and as you can see, you can also mess with the speed, so that's really cool. It gives you a different kind of feel for them. Now, the packs themselves, Matt's packs and ANEP's packs, these are all going to be in grooves. See, these have grooves. Matt's ones has songs, and it has different patterns within there. And you have different, yeah, it's just different, it's different grooves, and you have the different patterns in here. It's the same thing with Rudy's pack. Yeah, Rudy's pack is a groove, and the Washtec, I think I said that right. I believe I said that right. Correct me if I didn't. The Washtec one, this is just some samples that I have from it. It's not the entire pack. It's the same thing, and you have patterns. But what's really cool about the country and hardcore and rock pack is in the different songs you have itself, look, you get intro, you get bridge, you get pre-chorus, and you get verse. Now you don't necessarily have to use each one of those in its corresponding way, like intro, for example, you can use intro for a fill if you want, depending on how long it is, or you can use a pre-chorus for a chorus. It doesn't really matter. It just kind of outlines you what they thought that would fit it better whenever they actually had the pack out. And it's the same thing for the hardcore pack. The same, well, actually, this has songs and it has grooves in it. The country one has them notated, but it's the same as the other packs. And see, this one has the different patterns in it as well. And of course you can hit stop right there if you want to stop it whenever you're playing it. I kind of like it on the country pack how it's broken down. Now this has that it's in country, but that would sound pretty cool in like a metal song actually. As like an intro for a metal song, that would actually pretty sound cool. And you don't really have to use the whole thing. If there's only a section of it that you like, you can use that too. Because that's what I did right here. As you can see, it's just sections of them that I stacked up. I just used beginning of one section and then I went to another one right here. And like I said, all you have to do is you need to find the folder where it's stored, and all of those MIDI notes that are in there, you just take the MIDI files that are in there, you just take them and you drag them to your MIDI instrument. So like we're running, like you said, you got a MIDI instrument, we have a MIDI track, and we have contact on it, which is running GGD. So that's how it allows you to do it. And let's actually watch. I'm gonna show you what I did in here. I went in and I edited it. So this little fill right here, this wasn't originally in the loop itself, but I kind of wanted a fill to kind of help transition into the next section. So I just went in and wrote it, and I got some snares, I got some cymbal hits, I got the toms and some cymbal hits, and some little bass drums in there. And what's really nice too about the MIDI packs is that the velocities are already baked in. So you don't really have to worry about humanizing it per se. You have it already in there, and the articulation and the volume on the hat is great on all of them. It sounds really real, and what saved me so much time for this is inputting the cymbals and the hi-hats and all those little articulations. It's time consuming. It's kind of monotonous to get it all lined up right. The MIDI pack saved me so much time. It just let me slap it in there, and like I said, I wanted to add the fill, boom, added the fill. And it streamlines things and it makes things so easy. And the parts that are in here, they're super great and they save you time. And it's also good for demoing too, because you can throw some stuff up here, get a kind of idea of what you got going on in your head. You can send it off to your drummer and he's like, oh, okay, now I have a good idea. And like I said, it's about saving you time, because programming drums, for those of us who don't do it on a constant basis and who don't have it fully streamlined, it's a pretty daunting task. But these loop packs make things so much easier. It makes writing so much easier, lets you get down to the nitty gritty. So guys, that is gonna wrap it up for going over the GGD MIDI packs and using the Groove Player to look at them. This helped my workflow so much and it makes it so easy for me to write stuff. But if you have any comments, any questions about anything that I went over today, definitely let me know in the comments down below. But as for me, I'm gonna have to be out. Peace.